Cycling enthusiasts often dream of ditching their car entirely when they move to Victoria because our city is so temperate. But is that really a good idea? In this video, I'm going to explore just that question. I'm Sean P. I'm a real estate agent living in the city, and I make YouTube videos to help people understand how to navigate our market. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, as it's a great way to keep track of all the stuff that we put together. And if you have questions specific to your move, I'd love to answer them. You can use the link in the description to grab some time in my calendar. Okay, so can you live here without a car? Well, this city isn't as walkable as many people make it out to be. Let's look at the pros and cons. Okay, well, let's start with a simple question. How walkable is Victoria? The answer is, if you're talking about the core, like the city, the actual city of Victoria, Fernwood, Oak Bay, James Bay, downtown, it's extremely walkable. You can get to anything you need on foot: entertainment, shopping, groceries, coffee. You've got everything at your fingertips. You don't even need a bike. Essentially, as you get further from the downtown core, though, that starts to change. We see a lot of people living in Saanich who commute downtown, and that's not too bad. You can get to just about all of Saanich until you hit the peninsula in about a 10-kilometer bike ride, which really isn't too bad. Bear in mind that for a lot of neighborhoods, you'll be going uphill coming back home if you're commuting downtown for work, which will be a good workout at the end of the day, but is very doable. Okay, next up, let's talk about being a cyclist, commuter, or relying on transit. Well, great news is that Victoria is probably one of the best cities in all of Canada for being a cyclist commuter. We have temperate climate throughout the year, so you're rarely going to find it's too cold out to get on your bike. We do get some rain, so you'll probably want to upgrade some of your exterior shell clothing if you plan to bike in all weather, but biking in all weather is very doable here. We also have municipalities that are very supportive of cyclists. We see dedicated lanes, all kinds of trails, and we're even seeing things like cyclist designed condominium developments with specialized storage and stuff like that. So when the city is approving developments that don't have any parking for cars, you know that it's a city that wants to see more of this taking place. Now, Victoria does have a transit system that can get you just about anywhere in the greater Victoria area. I will say though that it does have some gaps. So in certain areas, you might be walking a decent distance to the bus stop and service might be intermittent. So you might be waiting a little while before they come to pick you up. It is what it is for a city this size. So if you're coming from a larger municipality, you might wish that there was more support, but it's just that this isn't a huge city. And so we've got to work with what we can actually cover as a municipality. Then the next question becomes, what are some of the times that you're going to really wish you had a car if you lived here without one? Well, let's talk about the obvious stuff. First of all, things like grocery hauls. If you're going out and stocking up the fridge, doing that on a bike or in public transport can be really tiresome. I'll also say that if you have kids and you're planning an adventure or even just getting them back and forth to classes and school, it can really become exhausting if you don't have something bigger to transport them around on. With this said, I do have clients who live their entire lives on a bicycle, and often they'll get one of those hybrid bikes with a big storage compartment. I even have one client who does Costco runs on their bike. So it's absolutely possible. And so long as you plan it out and you've got the right equipment, it's doable. Where you might find it really challenging is if you work outside of the city in a remote location, there's likely to be little help getting you there. The other thing that I will say is many people, when they move to Victoria, they do it because they want to explore this island. It's an incredible place, and a car is going to be really helpful in getting around if you want to go and explore all the places there are to visit on the island. So if you do choose to live in Victoria and forgo owning a car, there are some ways that you can supplement yourself to make life easier. The first thing I'm going to say is that in Victoria, we were actually late adopters to the whole Uber craze, and we now do have Uber. They blocked it for quite a while, but I'm really happy to say that we have Uber, as well as several really reliable taxi brands that you can reach out to. Now, in the event that you want something that you can take with you, we also have car share options. So we have Evo and Moto here. These are typical of car sharing apps, so you can just look on the app, find a car nearby, and go pick it up for a couple hours if you want to run some errands. And of course, we do have traditional rentals as well if you want to take a weekend out of town. So one thing a lot of people look at doing is getting rid of their car, focusing on cycling as a means of getting around, and supplementing that with car share as opposed to owning a car full time and having to deal with everything that comes with that. So, can you live in Victoria without owning a car? Well, yeah, of course you can. Really, it just comes down to your lifestyle, your job, and the location you choose to live that'll determine how much of an inconvenience it is. Again, we've got some great car share and ride share options, so you can supplement, and chances are you're really gonna love the balance. We have tons of people who live here just like this right now. As always, I'm so grateful you took the time to watch this, and if you have questions about your specific plans involving real estate, I'd love to be a resource. You can use the link in the description to grab some time with me. In our next video, we're gonna talk about the cost of raising a family in Victoria, and we're gonna explore if it's actually worth it. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.